Welcome to our charming Parisian apartment, for the next 4 days at least. You guessed it right, today's Mom's birthday, 58 to be exact. Now, here's the thing about Mom. No matter how old she's turning, she wants all of her candles on her cake. She says every candle is a year she's earned, she's learned, and she's grown. Don't get me wrong, cute thought, but this also means a fire hazard is created almost every year. Luckily, we were able to salvage the flames and she proceeded with yet another yearly ritual. The big wish before the candles go out. The cake was tasty, red velvet, her favorite. Or, in this case, more like brown velvet as it was made by a local bakery that doesn't use food dyes. Every romanticized trip to Paris includes a visit to the book-stalls next to the Seine River, the bouquinistes. And ours couldn't be different. Colorful stalls with art prints, card postals, tote bags. You get the idea. Very serious order of business, we had to decide on the postcard we'd take home for another ritual of collecting postcards from every city we visit. There's something so special about this sunny Sunday morning. Paris, the people, the weather. It's like everything have conspired to create the perfect birthday morning. Everywhere I look is like people are celebrating. Celebrating love, beauty, life. Of course, no birthday is complete without the perfect brunch, and although we've already eaten cake, there's plenty of room for what's about to follow. Cynthia found this healthy coffee shop in a corner of Paris, 20 minutes away from where we were staying, and I think she hit the jackpot. Everything was homemade, and there were so many different drinks and treats to choose from. We really couldn't decide. We started with a spinach and feta cheese muffin, which made me want to know the recipe really bad. Then we proceeded with our drinks: turmeric matcha, hot chocolate, and mushroom latte. Yes, you heard that right, mushroom. And next up we got the blueberry scone with its vanilla and cashew sauce. This was not all though. We ordered some more breakfast bowls that were being made. With pink granola, coconut yogurt, and seasonal fruits. I'm not being dramatic when I say Cynthia fell in love with this coconut yogurt. This was exactly what we needed. Peaceful, quiet, and nourishing. Both for our bodies and souls. I think when you hear Paris, you also think of fashion, and with good reason. Every corner is equipped with yet another vintage or not store, full of beautiful clothes and shoes. So we had to look around as we still had a bit of time to kill before Mom's big birthday surprise. And that's what we did. We strolled the streets, tried on some shoes, and pretended we were in an episode of Emily in Paris. Of course, Cynthia, like the authentic shoe lover of the family, was in the search for the perfect summer flat. What this may be, you ask? Let me explain. First of all, it needs to be flat, comfortable, and chic, and as far as color goes, no black allowed. It either needs to be brown or even better maroon. How cute! And now it was time for our birthday gift to Mom. You see, Mom has found herself with an inclination towards Asian culture in recent years. So when Cynthia and I found this experience, we were more than certain that she's going to love it. It was a private tea tasting ceremony in this beautiful underground Asian tea house in the middle of Paris. We got to taste 3 different teas: gyokuro tea, matcha, and freshly roasted hojicha. I hope I don't butcher the information I'm about to share. The tea master explained to us the different methods by which the tea is brewed to let out the natural flavors of the leaves. Gyokuro tea is grown under shade instead of full sun. And what's magical about tasting this tea is that depending on what you eat before every sip, the tea's flavor changes in your mouth. Apparently, because of its low astringency and high amino acids, even a small snack can change your perception of its flavor. I mean, the tea master told us about it before the tea tasting, but we couldn't understand it until we felt it. It really was like a magic trick was being performed in our mouths. Here's a perfect example. When eating tsukemono, i.e. savory pickles before it, the tea tastes very sweet and kind of metallic, but not in a bad way, although I realize it may sound bad. Look at us trying to understand what we're tasting. It was serious business down there. The minimalism of the design, the low ambient light, the sound of natural water flowing in a small indoor fountain outside the tea house's door, all contributed into transporting us in a different state. All there was for us in that moment was this place and tea. The roasted hojicha leaves smelled insane, like roasted hazelnuts or even light caramel, dare I say, which made my appetite go crazy. We got the chance to eat the gyokuro tea leaves alongside some soy sauce and yuzu juice sauce, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, I swear I could have drunk that sauce up like it was a tea itself. It was so tasty and full of flavor combined with the tea leaves. And finally, it was time for my favorite part of any experience: the sweet treats. The first sweet treat we got to taste was a chestnut-based treat, which made the tea have much deeper flavor, if that even makes sense. The chestnut wagashi was gentle, smooth, not too sweet. If I had to describe it, I would say it was like autumn in a bite. And as far as its texture was concerned, it was slightly crumbly, and then it melted in your mouth. The perfect sweet treat. And then we tried some rice and red paste pudding treats, and a cherry blossom leaf treat, which was so rich in flavor. It was like eating a cherry blossom flower, but in the best way possible. And then delirious o'clock struck and Cynthia couldn't stop making us laugh. You know how hard it is to suppress a hysterical laughter into a quiet and demure one? Extremely. But we were trying our best as we didn't want to get kicked out. It's always in times like these when the laugh attack comes on. Overall, it was a beautiful experience that I feel so lucky I got to capture. Cynthia stealing my last sip of matcha. Nighttime came and we started preparing for our night walk. No time wasted when you're in Paris. We were staying in the beautiful neighborhood of Montmartre, next to a crepe shop that was begging us to stop and grab a crepe. And that's what we did. We strolled around the quiet streets of Montmartre, running, jumping, and feeling like we were kids discovering our next adventure. I made a habit of sitting and observing this pizza place that was directly across our apartment building for those 4 days. There was something about it that intrigued me. The people waiting to get their freshly baked pizzas, and the chefs themselves putting the pizzas in the stone ovens with the shovel-like pizza peels. It was almost meditative to watch. A glimpse of a different life witnessed. Staying at Montmartre, we couldn't miss the Basilique du Sacré-Cœur. This city came alive at night, the streetlights glimmering in the night sky like fallen stars. People walking around with a different beat in their strut, a beat you could tell was preparing them for anything and everything. No one knows where a night out in Paris will lead you exactly. The only thing for sure is the fact that it will definitely be a good time. Tourist traps, street musicians, royal-looking grails. Everything's a prop for your entertainment. Next item on the list, visit the interior of Basilique du Sacré-Cœur, which fun fact happens to be the second highest point of Paris after the Eiffel Tower. A church that took 39 years to get built, with France's largest bell inside. Reportedly, it took 21 horses to carry the bell up the Montmartre hill during its construction. You can actually stay overnight in the church. For exchange of an hour's prayer, you'll get to sleep in one of the church's dormitories and nuns will wake you up when it's your turn to pray. Fascinating, to say the least. Last item of the itinerary for this video was to visit an underground jazz club, of course. Low lights, drinks, and the anticipation of people to get transported in a world of jazz on this Saturday night out flowing in the air. Jazz music is a weird concept. It thrives on breaking musical concepts, which means you can either hate it or love it. Highly emotional and abstract, you can't but get tangled in its web. Enjoy this live audio recording of one of the songs performed that night by musicians that took the saying, "You don't play jazz, you become it," on the next level. Listen to that build-up. People's claps sounding like the seventh instrument of this band. I'll shut up for now so you can enjoy the rest of the song.